Have you ever wondered why, despite eating healthy, your blood sugar keeps spiking? Why that afternoon fatigue never goes away? Why your doctor keeps warning you about your liver, even though you barely drink? Here's something that might surprise you. The fruit you've been eating every day, believing it's the healthiest choice you could make, might actually be creating problems for your body. I'm Dr. Kim, and I've practiced medicine in Seoul for over 40 years, specializing in senior health. What I'm about to share with you today changed not just my patients' lives, but my own life too. Before we dive in, if you want to protect your health and learn what really works after 60, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you'll want to catch every video we release. So, let me ask you this. What if I told you that 3 common fruits can put extra stress on your kidneys, spike your blood sugar, and even contribute to fatty liver in people who never touch alcohol? And what if I also told you that 4 other fruits could help improve your health markers in just weeks? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which fruits need moderation and which ones will support your health. Let's get started. You know, in my clinic in Seoul, I see this pattern almost every day. Seniors come in, frustrated and confused. They tell me, "Doctor, I don't understand. I eat fruits every day. I avoid fried foods. I barely drink. So why is my blood pressure high? Why do I have fatty liver? Why does my blood sugar keep rising?" And you know what concerns me? These are people who've spent their whole lives taking care of their families, working hard, trying to do everything right. Then suddenly, they're dealing with diagnoses like diabetes, kidney concerns, or liver issues. They look at me and say, "What did I do wrong?" Here's the truth that many don't fully understand. After 60, your body doesn't process food the same way it did when you were younger. The fruit that was perfectly fine for you at 40 can become problematic at 65. Your blood sugar control weakens, your kidney function declines, your liver's processing ability slows down. And here's what really matters. I'm going to share with you today exactly which 3 fruits you might want to reduce, which 4 fruits can really help your body, and the best practices for eating fruit that will maximize every benefit. This isn't just theory. I've seen 70-year-olds improve their blood sugar markers, 80-year-olds see better liver function, and countless seniors regain energy they thought was gone forever. The key? Understanding which fruits work with your body and which ones create challenges. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Bananas. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bananas? But they're so convenient, easy to digest, right? That's exactly what everyone believes. But let me share a story that'll change how you see this yellow fruit. A few months ago, a farmer from Gangwon province came to my clinic. Mr. Park had worked the fields his whole life, strong as an ox. Whenever his back hurt or he felt tired, he'd eat 2 or 3 bananas for quick energy. Nothing unusual, right? One day, while working in his field, he suddenly couldn't breathe properly. His legs felt weak. He had to stop working immediately. When he arrived at the hospital, his face looked gray. His heart was beating irregularly. The diagnosis? His potassium levels had become dangerously high, putting severe stress on his kidneys. Too much potassium had built up in his system, and his kidneys were struggling to handle it. Mr. Park looked at me and said, "Doctor, I spent my whole life eating bananas to stay healthy, and now you're telling me they were causing problems? I keep thinking about it. This is what people don't understand about bananas after 60. Yes, they're soft, easy to eat, full of potassium, but that's exactly the challenge. See, when you're younger, your kidneys easily process excess potassium. But after 60, kidney function drops about 1% every year. That potassium can start accumulating, and when it builds up too much, it can cause irregular heartbeat, dizziness, even muscle weakness. Here's what makes it more concerning. If you're taking blood pressure medications, especially ACE inhibitors or ARBs, or if you're on diuretics, your body already retains more potassium. These medications affect how your body handles potassium. Add bananas on top, and you're creating additional stress. And there's another aspect of bananas. They have a high glycemic index, meaning they can raise blood sugar quickly. When you're 65 or 70 and your pancreas is already working harder, one banana can send your blood sugar from normal to elevated in minutes. So what should you do? If you have elevated blood sugar, pre-diabetes, kidney concerns, or you're on blood pressure medication, it's better to limit bananas significantly. If you really want them, keep it to half a banana maximum, never on an empty stomach, and never combined with other high-sugar foods. Even better, consider replacing them with berries or kiwi, which we'll talk about soon. Now, bananas might have surprised you, but this next fruit is even trickier. It's small, sweet, and incredibly easy to overeat. I'm talking about grapes. Grapes seem harmless, don't they? They're known for antioxidants, often mentioned as heart-healthy. At least that's what many articles say. But here's what those articles don't emphasize about eating grapes after 60. Let me tell you about Captain Lee, a 67-year-old fisherman from Tongyang. This man spent his life on the ocean, ate more fish than meat, barely touched alcohol. One night, he woke up in severe pain. His big toe felt like it was burning, extremely uncomfortable. The discomfort was so intense, he couldn't sleep. At the hospital, we found he had gout. He was stunned. "Doctor, I don't eat red meat. I barely drink. How can this be?" But when I asked about his eating habits, the pattern became clear. Every night after work, he'd eat a whole bunch of grapes as a snack. He thought nothing of it because grapes are so small, right? Here's what was happening. Grapes contain fast-absorbing fructose. When consumed in large amounts, that sugar gets processed and can significantly increase uric acid production in your body. That uric acid travels through your bloodstream and can crystallize in your joints, forming sharp structures. That's what causes that intense discomfort in your toes, feet, ankles, knees that people with gout experience. And here's the thing about grapes. They don't trigger strong satiety signals. You can eat, and your brain doesn't get a clear signal to stop. That's because fructose doesn't strongly trigger the hormones that tell you you're satisfied. So you end up consuming way more sugar than you realize. Even more concerning? Raisins. Dried grapes concentrate the sugars even more because all the water's gone. A handful of raisins equals several bunches of grapes in terms of sugar content. So who should be careful with grapes? Anyone with gout, elevated uric acid levels, diabetes, prediabetes, or kidney concerns. And here's my recommendation. If you're going to eat them, limit yourself to 5 to 7 grapes maximum. Eat them 30 minutes before a meal, not after. Never at night, and definitely avoid raisins and grape juice. Consider swapping them for blueberries, which give you antioxidants without the same uric acid concerns. Now, both of those fruits might have surprised you, but this next one? This is especially important in summer. I'm talking about watermelon. Watermelon. Sweet, refreshing, mostly water, low in calories. What could be concerning about it? Actually, quite a bit when you're over 60. Let me tell you about Mrs. Ko, a 72-year-old woman from Seoul. After a family gathering, she didn't want to waste food, so she ate half a watermelon by herself. It's mostly water anyway, she thought. That night, she experienced cold sweats, felt nauseous, her heart was racing, and she felt quite unwell. She ended up needing medical attention. What we found was that her liver enzymes had spiked significantly, her blood sugar had jumped, and she was dehydrated. All related to consuming too much watermelon at once. She told me later, "Doctor, I look at watermelon differently now." Here's what most people don't fully understand. Watermelon's sweetness comes almost entirely from fructose, and unlike glucose, which your cells use for energy, fructose goes straight to your liver for processing. Your liver has to handle all of it. When you're young, your liver manages this well. But after 60, when your liver's metabolism naturally slows down, it can struggle to keep up. So what does it do? It can convert excess fructose into fat and store it. That's one way fatty liver can develop even in people who don't drink alcohol. And there's another challenge. Fructose doesn't send strong fullness signals to your brain. That's why you can eat slice after slice of watermelon and not feel truly satisfied. Before you know it, you've eaten a large amount and your liver is working overtime processing all that fructose. Plus, watermelon has a relatively high glycemic index for a fruit. It can raise blood sugar fairly quickly. And after 60, when your insulin response is slower and your blood sugar regulation isn't as efficient, eating large amounts of watermelon puts extra demand on your pancreas. So who should be careful with watermelon? Anyone with fatty liver, diabetes, pre-diabetes, elevated blood sugar, abdominal weight concerns, or anyone who tends to eat fruit as a late-night snack. If you do want to eat it, here's the guideline. One small piece, about the size of your palm, 30 minutes before a meal, during daytime only, never at night, never as juice because that concentrates everything. And if you eat watermelon that day, reduce other fruit intake. Okay, so far I've told you about fruits that need caution. But I don't want you to feel discouraged. Because here's the good news. There are fruits that can actually support your body, help improve various health markers, and make you feel better. Let me show you 4 fruits that work really well after 60. First up, avocado. Now I know some of you are thinking, wait, avocado? That's not even sweet. Yes, it's a fruit, and it's probably one of the most beneficial fruits for seniors. Let me tell you about Mr. Kim, a 65-year-old retired teacher from Seoul. His blood pressure medication barely kept his numbers stable. His cholesterol stayed elevated no matter what he tried. He was worried, frustrated. I gave him one simple suggestion. Eat half an avocado every morning with your breakfast. That's it. Don't change anything else. 3 months later, he came back beaming. His blood pressure medication dosage was reduced. His LDL cholesterol, the problematic kind, had dropped by nearly 30%. His cardiovascular markers improved noticeably. Even his cardiologist was impressed. Mr. Kim told me, "Doctor, half an avocado has done more for me than years of trying everything else." Here's why avocado is so beneficial. It's rich in monounsaturated fats, the same healthy fats found in extra virgin olive oil. These fats can help reduce problematic LDL cholesterol in your blood vessels, support healthy HDL cholesterol levels, and help maintain flexible arterial walls. After 60, when your blood vessels naturally become less flexible, avocado can actually help slow that aging process. And here's the best part. Avocado has almost zero sugar. Its glycemic index is nearly 0. That means no blood sugar spike, no insulin stress, no pancreatic overload. If you have diabetes concerns or prediabetes, avocado is one of the safest foods you can eat. Plus, it's packed with vitamins K and E, magnesium, potassium in a form that's well balanced, and fiber, all in one fruit. It supports your blood vessels, helps with bone strength, supports brain function, and helps your heart, all at the same time. So, how do you eat it? Add half an avocado to your salad. Spread it on whole grain toast. Eat it with eggs, or just eat it plain with a spoon. And here's a powerful combination. Eat avocado with spinach or kale. The healthy fats help your body absorb the vitamins from the greens, multiplying the benefits. Now, avocado supports your blood vessels, but what about your brain? What about memory, focus, and mental clarity? That's where our next fruit comes in, blueberries. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you're there? Or struggled to remember someone's name you've known for years? Maybe you feel like your mind is cloudy, like there's a fog between you and your thoughts. That happened to Mrs. Yoon, a 71-year-old woman living in Seoul. She couldn't focus on reading anymore because nothing seemed to stick. Conversations felt difficult because her thoughts wouldn't flow smoothly. She started avoiding social situations because she felt embarrassed. She was becoming withdrawn. Then, her daughter suggested something simple. "Mom, just eat a handful of blueberries with yogurt every morning." Mrs. Yoon was skeptical, but she tried it. After 2 months, something remarkable happened. Her mind felt clearer when she woke up. Conversations became easier. She started enjoying reading again. 6 months later, she was back to her normal self. even recommending blueberries to her friends. She told me, "Doctor, it's like that fog in my brain is finally clearing." Here's the science. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, powerful compounds that give them that deep color. These substances help protect your brain cells from aging, support the connections between neurons, and help maintain memory function. Think of your neural connections as electrical wiring. Anthocyanins help protect and maintain that wiring. Blueberries also support better blood flow to your brain. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your brain cells. That's why people often feel mentally sharper after eating them regularly. And they have anti-inflammatory properties. Chronic low-level inflammation is one factor in brain fog and cognitive concerns. Blueberries help reduce that inflammation, supporting your brain's natural function. This is valuable for long-term brain health. How should you eat them? Mix a handful with plain yogurt in the morning. Add them to salads. Combine them with nuts for a brain-supporting snack. Or even use frozen blueberries, which retain nearly all their nutrients. The recommended amount is about 20 to 30 grams a day, roughly a palm-sized handful. And here's who especially benefits from blueberries. Anyone experiencing memory concerns, concentration challenges, family history of cognitive decline, chronic stress, or that feeling of mental cloudiness. The yogurt blueberry nuts combination is particularly effective because the probiotics, antioxidants, and healthy fats work together synergistically. So blueberries support your brain, avocados support your blood vessels. But what about your immune system? What helps you stay well through winter? That's where kiwi comes in. Do you catch colds easily? Does a little fatigue sometimes turn into feeling really unwell? Does it take a long time to bounce back? After 60, your immune system naturally becomes less robust. Your immune cells decrease, their response slows, and stress constantly challenges them. Let me tell you about Mr. Park, a 65-year-old restaurant owner in Incheon. Every winter, without fail, he'd get sick. A cold would turn into weeks of feeling unwell. Some years it became more serious, requiring hospitalization. He was exhausted, worried every time winter approached. I gave him simple guidance. Eat 1 kiwi every day, with the skin if you can manage it. Do this consistently for 3 weeks. He was doubtful, but followed through. That winter, he didn't get sick once, not even a sniffle. The next year, he came back smiling and said, "Doctor, 1 kiwi daily has done more than all the supplements I've tried. I'm not afraid of winter anymore." Here's why kiwi is so effective. 1 kiwi contains about 2 to 2.5 times your daily vitamin C needs. It's like getting a natural vitamin C boost. Vitamin C is essential fuel for your immune cells, helping them function optimally to fight off challenges. But kiwi doesn't just have vitamin C. It's loaded with other beneficial compounds like polyphenols and lutein that help your immune system recover faster when challenged. Your immune system doesn't just stay strong, it bounces back more quickly. And here's something important. About 70% of your immune system is actually in your gut. Kiwi's rich fiber and natural enzymes support gut health, encourage beneficial bacteria, help reduce inflammation, and support regularity. When your gut is healthy, your whole immune defense system works better. Now, about eating the skin. I know it sounds unusual, but the skin contains a high concentration of beneficial compounds. Wash it thoroughly and eat it like an apple. You'll get significantly more benefits. When should you eat it? After breakfast or as a morning snack is best. Kiwi has some natural acidity, so eating it on a completely empty stomach might bother sensitive digestive systems. And combine it with nuts like almonds, cashews, or walnuts. Vitamin C absorption increases when paired with healthy fats and proteins. 1 kiwi a day or 2 if they're small. But if you have acid reflux sensitivity, you might want to start with less. Think of it as food-based immune support. All right, we've covered avocado for blood vessels, blueberries for brain, kiwi for immunity. But what about blood sugar management and weight concerns? That's where our final fruit comes in, and this one requires special attention. Grapefruit. Grapefruit is powerful, maybe too powerful in some situations. It's like a tool that works wonderfully when used correctly but needs caution. Used properly, it can help support blood sugar management and cardiovascular health. Used incorrectly, it can create problems. Let me explain with a story. I had a patient in her 60s taking blood pressure medication. She heard grapefruit was healthy and started having grapefruit juice every morning. For the first few days, nothing seemed concerning, but about a week in, she suddenly felt very dizzy and weak, almost fainting. When we checked, her blood pressure had dropped to concerning levels. Here's what happened. Grapefruit contains compounds that can interfere with how your liver processes certain medications. Specifically, it can block an enzyme that breaks down many common drugs. When that enzyme is blocked, medications stay in your system much longer, becoming significantly more potent than intended. That's why grapefruit can be problematic if you're taking certain medications for blood pressure, cholesterol management, heart rhythm, or several other conditions. The medication effects can become too strong. But here's the other side. If you're not on any of these medications, grapefruit can be quite beneficial. It can help improve how your body responds to insulin, supporting more efficient blood sugar regulation. It reduces pancreatic stress. It supports metabolism, which can help with weight management. That's why it's known as helpful for metabolic health. So, here are the important guidelines. If you're taking medication, especially for blood pressure, cholesterol, or heart conditions, you should avoid grapefruit, and definitely check with your doctor first. This is really important. If you're not on these medications, grapefruit can be excellent for blood sugar management and metabolic support. Safe consumption guidelines: 1/4 to 1/2 of a grapefruit per day, preferably as a morning snack, never as juice because that concentrates the active compounds significantly. Never on days you take medication, and combine it with protein like eggs, yogurt, or lean meat to help stabilize blood sugar response. Okay, now you know which fruits need caution and which fruits can really support your health. But here's something important. Even the healthiest fruits can work against you if you eat them at the wrong time, in the wrong way, or with the wrong foods. So let me share some key principles that will multiply the benefits of everything you've learned. Most people eat fruit after meals as dessert. This is actually one of the less optimal approaches. When you eat fruit after a meal, it gets mixed with all the other food in your stomach, which can reduce how well you absorb the nutrients. Plus, if you're over 60 with blood sugar concerns, adding fruit sugar on top of an already elevated post-meal blood sugar creates additional work for your system. Here's what works better. Eat fruit 30 to 60 minutes before meals. This timing allows vitamins and minerals to absorb more efficiently. The fiber helps create a feeling of fullness that can prevent overeating, and blood sugar rises more gradually and steadily. Avocado, kiwi, and blueberries work especially well before meals. The second best time is mid-morning snack, about 2 to 3 hours after breakfast. You get sustained energy without blood sugar stress. The timing to avoid? After 8 p.m. Nighttime fruit consumption puts extra demand on your liver and pancreas, and can cause blood sugar fluctuations during sleep. Watermelon, grapes, and bananas are especially problematic at night. Now let's talk about combinations. Certain foods amplify fruit benefits significantly. Blueberries with plain yogurt and nuts combine probiotics, antioxidants, and healthy fats for maximum brain and gut benefits. The yogurt's protein helps slow sugar absorption too. Avocado with spinach or kale uses the healthy fats to dramatically increase absorption of vitamins from the greens, benefiting blood vessels, bones, and blood pressure regulation. Kiwi with nuts or iron-rich foods boosts iron absorption significantly, which is helpful for energy levels and combating fatigue. Grapefruit with protein like eggs, yogurt, or lean poultry helps stabilize blood sugar response beautifully. But remember, only if you're not on medications that interact with grapefruit. Let me share proper storage tips because this affects nutrient retention. For avocados, store unripe ones at room temperature, and once ripe, Wrap them in paper and refrigerate for extended freshness. For blueberries and berries, rinse briefly in diluted vinegar water. Rinse again with clean water. Dry completely, then freeze. This preserves nutrients well and reduces pesticide concerns. For kiwis, eat them when slightly soft for peak vitamin C content, but not too mushy or nutrients start degrading. For grapefruits, eat fresh halves right away. Storing juice causes faster nutrient loss. Now, here's something important I need to address. Many of you might be thinking, this all sounds helpful, but I struggle with sugar cravings. I know I shouldn't have sweets, but I can't seem to stop. Let me tell you something crucial. It's not a willpower problem. Sugar cravings aren't about weak willpower. They're a biological response. When you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine, a feel-good chemical. Over time, this creates a reward circuit similar to other addictive substances. The more you consume, the more you crave, and the sweeter things need to taste to give you that same satisfaction. But here's encouraging news. You can reset this pattern in just 3 days. I call it the 3-day reset. Here's what happens. Your taste receptors regenerate every 48 to 72 hours. If you stop intense sugar stimulation for 3 days, new taste receptors develop with more normal sensitivity. Your brain's reward circuits calm down. The intense cravings suddenly diminish. Blood sugar and insulin levels stabilize, giving your whole system a chance to recalibrate. Here's how to do it. For 3 days, completely avoid bananas, grapes, and watermelon. Replace sugar cravings with supportive fruits like blueberries, kiwi, avocado, and if you're not on interacting medications, grapefruit. When cravings hit, drink a glass of warm water slowly. Your brain often mistakes thirst for sugar hunger, and this technique works within 5 to 10 minutes. Keep a small portion of nuts ready. Walnuts, almonds, cashews provide satisfaction without blood sugar spikes. Days 1 and 2 are the most challenging. Push through them, and day 3 suddenly becomes much easier. After 3 days, your taste perception resets. Regular foods taste more satisfying again, and sugar cravings decrease significantly. I've seen this work for countless patients. One 68-year-old man who couldn't resist afternoon sweets tried this approach. The first 2 days were difficult. Day 3, he told me, "Doctor, I don't feel that desperate need anymore. A few blueberries taste surprisingly sweet now." That's your taste receptors coming back to normal sensitivity. Let me share something personal. In my mid-40s, despite being a doctor, despite knowing better, I started developing concerning health patterns. Late-night fatigue, hunger even after meals, blood sugar creeping upward. I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic. My liver enzymes were elevated. I was genuinely surprised. I ate reasonably well, barely drank, maintained regular activity. What was the problem? Then I realized. I was eating fruit at night, bananas when dinner was late, watermelon after long work shifts, grapes when I felt tired. I thought fruit was always healthy, so timing didn't matter. I was wrong. I made myself a personal experiment. I eliminated the 3 challenging fruits completely. I focused on avocado, blueberries, kiwi, and grapefruit. I ate fruit only before meals or as morning snacks, never at night. When sugar cravings hit, I drank warm water and ate a few nuts. 3 months later, my blood sugar normalized. My liver enzymes returned to healthy ranges. I naturally lost about 4 kilograms. My fatigue disappeared. My mental clarity improved. 6 months later, my cardiovascular markers improved noticeably. Even my overall vitality. This simple shift did more for my health than years of trying various approaches. That's when I knew I needed to share this with others. So here we are. We've covered everything. 3 fruits that need caution. 4 fruits that can really support your health. The optimal timing and combinations. How to reset sugar cravings. And even my personal experience. I want you to remember something important. Your body responds to positive changes regardless of age, whether you're 70, 80, or 90. Your system begins responding the moment you make supportive choices. Recovery starts when you decide to make a change. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to follow everything exactly as I've described. Just do 3 things. Reduce the challenging fruits, add 1 supportive fruit daily, and stop eating fruit at night. Those 3 changes alone will shift how you feel. Your health isn't somewhere far away. It's not in expensive supplements or complicated programs. It's in your kitchen, in your refrigerator, in the small daily choices you make. One thoughtful decision for your body today creates a healthier tomorrow. And you know what? By watching this video, you've already taken that first step. You're already on a path toward better health. I'm genuinely glad you're here. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our future content. Leave a comment telling me which fruit you're going to start including, or which one you're planning to reduce. Your comment might inspire someone else to take action too. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, a family member, a friend, a neighbor, please share this video with them. Your simple action could make a real difference in someone's life. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'm supporting your health journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay well, stay strong, and remember, it's never too late to feel better.